Halloween is one of the world's oldest holidays, but do you know its origins?
It started in Ireland, and each year travel expert Gabe Saglier heads there to explore Halloween's ancient origins. He joins us live from County Cork, Ireland. Nice to see you this morning.
Hey guys, great to see you. Yes, my annual pilgrimage out here to discover the origins of Halloween.
You have to. So tell us about the Celtic festival that would become Halloween.
It was called Samhain, and we're looking back 3,000 years now. So pre-Christianity, these were pagan rituals, and October 31st in the calendar back then was the official end of the calendar year. The harvest had been completed. We were entering the winter months, and so October 31st was that final day of the calendar year, and the day in which the veil between this world and the next was thought to be at its thinnest, meaning those ghosts could actually perhaps cross over to our side. So what would people do? They'd wear masks, throw costumes on as a way to distract, scare away these ghosts. Therefore, the tradition that we now see, that we use today of dressing up as, for Halloween. The trick-or-treating idea also originated then because it was the end of harvest. People would knock on each other's doors to say, hey, do you have any bounty to share with me? And now it's become, of course, trick-or-treat. So a lot of these traditions go way, way back. And Ireland is now using this ancient story of Samhain, now known as Halloween, as a way to try to draw people over this time of year to a little traveling around the country.
All right. Well, I didn't know that origin story. No. That's super interesting, Gabe. And you're talking about now how Ireland wants people to come and travel and celebrate it. So there's two big Irish festivals inspired by Halloween. Tell us about the events in Puka.
So this is the Puka Festival, which started right in 2019, and we were on the ground for the launch of that festival in County Meath, which is about a 45-minute drive west of Dublin. Of course, the pandemic paused it, so this year it makes its grand return. So that's Puka, a mythical creature that would be part of a lot of these ancient stories that kids might hear about growing up here in Ireland. This was video we shot in 2019 in front of Trim Castle, very famous castle. You probably saw it in the movie Braveheart there. And this was that fantastic festival that, again, makes a big triumphant return next weekend and expected to draw people not only from Ireland, but from neighboring UK and throughout Europe and the US as well. So a lot of pomp and circumstance, very colorful as well. Of course, this is an island-wide celebration, so you're seeing festivals all over the country, all over the island. But Puka is certainly very colorful.
All right, so I have two questions for you here. First, what time is it over there? Because you're there live, so I'm just curious what time it is. And also,
go ahead. It's about 4:45 p.m. We're about 8 hours later here, so it's about wine hour, Pedro.
Okay,
we're getting you right before happy hour.
Yeah, it's perfect. How does Derry celebrate Halloween season?
So Derry's just on the other side of the Northern Ireland border, and when you cross to Northern Ireland, pretty seamless to do, but you're officially in the UK there. So you're using the euro here, you're using the sterling, the pound there. But this is Derry Halloween. USA Today called this the greatest Halloween celebration in the world. They've been doing this now for about 35 years, but the entire city now embraces these old traditions. The entire city goes Halloween mode for several days leading up to October 31st. So this is a video we got just last year when Derry Halloween made its comeback post-pandemic. It was sort of a soft reopening, if you will. And of course, this year they're expecting a massive event that's going to be drawing people from all over the UK as well and spilling into neighboring Donegal. For those of you who have been there, it's a beautiful area on the western shores of Ireland. But again, the streets close down. People come out in costume. Celebrations go well into the night. And again, embracing this ancient tradition that the Irish have known for many years. But that story just now coming out for those of us in the United States. And in fact, this spooky holiday originated here many thousands of years ago.
Wow. And of course, you're showing some of the fun parties, and they have spooky aspects. But one aspect of Halloween people like to celebrate is kind of the haunted spots that you can visit. So you're looking at some of them throughout the country. What's on your list?
So I started my road trip today. In fact, we're in the city of Cork here. We're in the southern part of Ireland. We had just left a place called the Franciscan Well Brewery that dates back to 1249, and there are monks buried there. And the pub manager said, yeah, we hear footsteps, we hear doors shut all the time. So that was an interesting visit, and we're visiting a couple of castles over the next couple of days to see if we can survive a couple of stays there over the next few nights. But again, this is the kind of thing that does draw a lot of people who are sort of into the mystical, into the mysterious, into the scary, and you're seeing more and more of that just become accessible to travelers as we continue to embrace the Halloween story.
What's not scary is that bedspread behind you. I like that. I was looking at that.
You know, I just checked into this hotel. It's called the Montinati Hotel on this hill overlooking the city of Cork. I'm looking forward to dipping in there. It looks pretty plush.
What advice do you have for travelers who want to plan their own European trip?
So as you probably have heard, the dollar is very strong against its European currencies. Now, the euro, certainly, which you use here in Ireland, the sterling or the pound that you would be using in the UK. We're seeing it at levels that we have not seen in decades. So currently, the dollar, today when I was shopping for a couple of gifts for my kids, the dollar is actually stronger than the euro by a couple of pennies. That hasn't happened since the early 80s. And the same thing with the sterling. And the sterling's still a little stronger than the dollar. But it's funny, I was watching Sky News yesterday, which is the national UK TV station, and they've got a running scroll of how the sterling is doing against the dollar. It was about $1.11 when it closed yesterday, and which is, again, the lowest level we've seen since about 1985. So for folks who are looking to travel to Europe in the fall, or you're planning your winter escape here when prices naturally go down in Europe, just know that you're going to be traveling with currency that flexes some nice muscle now, meaning your hotel tickets, that extra cappuccino, that visit to the pub becomes a little bit easier to budget.
So true, Gabe. I was recently in England, and the pound being so close to the dollar, it's not painful at all. Your money goes far.
It makes a difference.
It's really different than it was 10 years ago when I was there. Gabe, thank you so much. And for
Great
more
to see
from
you guys.
Gabe and the Travelzoo team, you can head to travelzoo.com/TV.